Big up yourself.
Welcome back to another video, and thank you so much for tuning in. I am going to be touching on a lot today, guys. We are going to unpack. A couple of you have wanted me to talk about this. When the whole scandal came out, I saw a few comments where people were like, have you seen the way she looks? And people making comments about her appearance, her social media, her post, and how concerning it was. And I really took my time to do this video because I didn't just want to do my usual voiceover recording. I wanted you to see my expressions and everything because it's a lot. We're gonna unpack. Make sure you've got your drink. I have on my helmet of salvation today. No, I'm kidding. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, but let's just dive right into the video. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to read out this comment. I'm gonna start from there basically. So this comment is from Baby Girl, and this was under one of the videos that I done. Baby Girl says, Derrick's wife needs to take that bag. I don't know what that means, but and go and get some tracks done or a weave done and get them edges done. All that money and you don't take care of yourself. God said be authentic in your intentions. He didn't say let yourself look like a driving MS Daisy. God did put your faith in me because man will disappoint you, and I think Derrick's wife is so self-righteous that she isn't paying attention to what God is really trying to tell her. If that relationship wasn't divinely protected and there was no wrongdoing, God would protect it, but he ain't. He's allowing this to come out to wake Derrick's wife up. So it's so out of touch with reality. Love can be blind, but it shouldn't be stupid. Well, first of all, I do agree. Love says love can be blind, but it shouldn't be stupid. I do agree with that. Now there's a few things in it that I'm going to disagree with you if you are watching this video, because I know a lot of people think like this based on the comments. You know, people like, have you seen the way that she looks? Some people do feel like, well, if you're going to look like that, no wonder your man is going to cheat on you. Firstly, I just want to shut that down. If your man wants to cheat on you, he will cheat on you regardless of what you look like. I hate the fact that that narrative is painted like, oh, maybe if you have on a little bit more makeup, or oh, maybe if you dress like this, or then he wouldn't cheat on you. No, everybody can cheat. That's man or woman. Do you get what I mean? At the end of the day, being faithful and being accountable to your partner is all about having self-control and self-discipline. If you lack self-control and if you lack self-discipline, then that's on you. That's not on the other person. And I do feel like it's slightly abused and manipulative to make somebody feel like that the reason why they were cheated on, or the reason why I cheated on you, is because you don't look like these Instagram models, for example, or you don't look like this. It's like, well, you already knew what I look like, because if you guys go back, I don't know if anybody's gone to Danae's page. I know some people don't have Instagram like that, but let me tell you, if you go back to her page, she's never really been the type to wear makeup. She's always been the plain Jane. She's always been natural. The first video that I done on her, I had to shut down a few of the comments that was directed towards her look, because I was like, she's gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? It's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is defined differently. What you define as beauty, others don't. Like, some people might find me beautiful and some people won't find me beautiful, and that is okay. Not everybody in this world is beautiful in everybody's eyes. And the thing is as well is that people have to remember that in relationship you are beautiful to that person, but there's always going to be somebody who is more beautiful, who is more handsome than the person that you are with. But does that mean that you're going to cheat on that person? No. When you're walking down the street and you see somebody who is beautiful aesthetically, you know, who's got the features that you like, are you now going to go and cheat with that person because they look better than your current partner? No, you're not going to do that, because number one, you're disciplined and you've got self-control, and number two, you have respect for that person. You've made your choice to be with that person. I just don't like this whole idea that she was cheated on because of the way that she looks. I, like a lot of people, didn't really know about her. I didn't know her background. I didn't know what kind of person that she is. From doing a little bit of research, I've gauged a little bit of understanding of of the type of person that she is. Before I get into her, let's talk a little bit about the mistress, because I didn't really address my thought as much when I dropped the video about the mistress allegedly being pregnant and the bombshell interview that she done with Cash.app. I'm not on Derrick's side. I'm just gonna put it out there, okay? I am extremely disappointed with Derrick. Like, I literally feel like he has been a fraudster. Do I believe that people can change? Yes. Do I understand why she stuck with him? No. Do I believe that she shouldn't be with him? Yes. That she should leave him? Yes. So by the end of the day, she's the one that made the vows with him and she's decided to stay with him. Cool, we're gonna get into that. But a few things from that interview that I didn't really understand. For those who watched the interview, you kind of understand what I'm saying. In the interview, the mistress first of all stated that she's a doctor, so she's a surgeon. And also she was talking about how Derrick would come to her workplace and then she would leave work during her break times and in between surgeries, and then they will go and have their affair. One of the things that I was just kind of found it a bit questionable was, if you are a doctor and a surgeon, I don't know what it's like in the US or anywhere else in the world, but here in the UK they're very strict with hospitals, especially during COVID. And we only just recently celebrated 1 year of this whole lockdown situation, and once you're in a hospital, you don't get visitors. Like, you can't have visitors, you can't be going in and out, like there's security at the doors. So as a surgeon, how are you going in between surgeries to go and have an affair? How is somebody just popping up at your workplace and you're just leaving the hospital and then coming back and then doing a surgery and then leaving and then coming back? Like, that didn't make sense to me, because to me I kind of felt like that doesn't really sound professional, that doesn't sound right to me. Now, do I feel like a little bit of things that she said in the interview was a bit exaggerated? Yes, I do. I don't know if she made some things up, but I definitely did find some of the things that she said questionable. For example, like the whole social media stuff. She came out and she said she didn't have social media, but then she realized that he had blocked her on YouTube, so she couldn't find his videos. I don't know if YouTube is different in any other countries, but when you block somebody on YouTube, you can still see their videos. You just can't respond to them in the comments. Like, you can't engage on their platform, but you can still see their videos. So I don't know what she meant by, like, I couldn't see it, I had to log on to my sister's phone. And it's like, well, actually you could, like, that's not true. And also, like, she was like, oh, he blocked me on all social platforms, but you said that you didn't have social media. Like, there's just some things that I was just like, baby, like, what is it? Like, how much did you get paid to tell this story? That's what I want to know. However, in me saying that, I'm not saying that she came out and she's lying, because obviously she's provided proof. You know, we like receipts. We like receipts, and she provided some receipts. But I do feel like sometimes when people create stories, it's a little bit exaggerated, and it's just a little bit, sometimes people can make things up. She did allege that Derrick was aggressive and he would talk down on her a lot of the time, and she didn't know that he obviously was married. She didn't know anything about Derrick Jaxn, and which is understandable. Like I said before, when a man approaches you and he's gonna cheat, he's not gonna tell you, oh yeah, by the way, I've got somebody, but I'm interested in you, and obviously I want to see where things are going. So for that, we can't really blame her for anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, she didn't know. But another thing that was like, you knew he had a YouTube channel, but you didn't know who he was. Like, you didn't know that he was this big time person, like this big internet personality. Like, that doesn't make sense to me either. What usually happens is that when you meet somebody, especially now with social media, like, this was last year, by the way, this wasn't a time when social media wasn't relevant. You will go online and you will look for things. Like, even if you're not a social media person, but the fact that you used your sister's phone to prey on him, you could have used your sister's phone to prey on him when you first met him as well. Do you get me? So, like, I don't buy that excuse about you didn't know who he was and you didn't know he was a big personality or whatever. Like, you could have preyed on him from the same sister's phone that you said you took to when he blocked you on social media that you didn't have. But anyway, let's move on to Danae, how she looks and her social media. If anybody has pre'd her Instagram, it's very concerning and it's very disturbing. There's this whole thing about the church and the cult, and I don't know, you guys, I've never really spoken about this whole religion thing on my channel, and even when this whole SPAC Nation thing came out, I just kind of was like, I'm not touching that, because I don't like to debate about God. I just don't feel like religion is debatable. Like, I don't feel like Christianity is debatable. The word is a word. God is a God of a yes and amen. Like, there is no in between. There's no debate about it. And for me, I feel like it's so sad that God had to be dragged into the center of this. Number one, because every time they speak, they're always quoting scripture, and the last live that I watched them do, they were always like, well, you know, this is going to be for the glory of God, like this is for the glory of God. And then she did her live when she was just like, you see a bonnet, I see the helmet of salvation, you see this, I see the breastplate of righteousness. It's like, do you know what would have been powerful? What would have been powerful is if you were strong enough to leave, to detach yourself from that situation, and then come on and then do that live, repeat those words, letting people know that I have been brought into this situation. This man has exposed me, because guys, you have to remember that this is not the first time that he's cheated. You have humiliated me, cheated on me, embarrassed me, but God has the final say. But that but with scripture, that but with her faith, that would have been powerful, because it's harder for people to receive her message, because it's kind of making it look like it doesn't matter what a man does to you. It doesn't matter whether he beats you, cheats on you, humiliates you, spits on you, does whatever. As long as you get on your knees, you pray and you forgive him, then it's okay. And it's not okay. It is not okay. What that man done to her is not okay, and it will never be okay. And you guys have to remember that this wasn't the first time. The first time when it happened, she left, she walked away, and then she said that she started seeing a change in him. He started getting closer to God, and then she started coming back, and obviously they've been on this journey of recovery and reconciliation, right? Now, you're not there yet. After he done that last year, you went through your breakup, your separation, then you came back again because you saw a change in him, but yet a week ago, he done the same thing. But you're coming online and you're trying to preach God and hide the mess behind God. Believers, unbelievers, take away the religion, take away your beliefs, take away everything. Wrong is wrong. People are morally woke. Do you know what I mean? It's sad to me that God had to be brought in this, and it's like, now I have to talk about God in this light because you're forcing me to do it. On her Instagram, she spoke about how he cheated on her, how she felt. I'm gonna actually read, let me just go into it. I'm gonna read some of the things that she posted, which were really, really disturbing. She even spoke about, and this is women that she knew, like this is women that she knew, women that she didn't know. It's not just one woman, or it's women. She spoke about colorism. She spoke about how she felt towards dark-skinned women, because these were dark-skinned women that he would do these things with. Here she says, fast forward to a woman who attended college with me, dark-skinned, well-known, successful, and just so happened to be someone I've seen naked, penetrated, soaking, moaning and more. She really gets graphic in her posts. I hated the woman, but I also desperately wanted to be like her because I felt like she had something I wanted, you know. And she even spoke about how she would try and imitate her, even, you know, in the bedroom, and how she would try to look like her, and the only thing she couldn't do was to copy her skin color, basically. And this really drove her insane. This made her crazy. The Danae that we see on her camera, the sweet, like the meek, the quiet, the humble, no, like she literally turned like evil. The things that he put her through really broke her down. Another one, she said, I self-medicated with stalking women who had ever slept with my husband. I drank whole bottles of wine until I couldn't feel the pain deep inside of me. I purchased the best of the best hair, makeup, shoes, jewelry, you name it. She got the best of the best to look like these women that her husband was cheated on her with. How sick is that? Another one, she says, unfortunately for over a decade I was unaware of the gates that were opened to the enemy with things my eyes had seen, videos, pictures and so on of women I knew, women I didn't know, women who were friends, dark-skinned women. I was filled with the demon of rage, murder, suicide, depression. Prior to this phase, my life had already suffered a trauma. She shared about the experience that she had being, I believe she was about her dad, and it's just really crazy. Like, these are really disturbing. Another one, she says, daily these thoughts screamed at me, you'll never have what she has, you don't fit the profile, she's dark skinned perfection, you're not, he'll always choose her over you, she's more successful than you, look at what she's done and look at you, how can you compete with that? And lastly, she said, I would get my face beat by the best MUA. I visit women's pages that he liked, commented back to and had prior flings with, and obsessed over how they did their hair, how they dressed, how they spoke, the interest they had, and tried to mimic aspects of them to keep his attention. And the only thing I couldn't mimic to perfection is being the perfection of having dark, supple skin. How can you explain that? Over a decade, he liked women's pictures that he had flings with. To find pictures and videos of your husband being intimate with another woman, like, she saw this with her own eyes, she saw the videos. You're a married man and you're videoing yourself being intimate with other women. Woo. Not only that, but even in the live that they done, she was saying how even after it happened, he was still be friends with these women on social media. It's like, I'm sorry, but why do you need to be friends with people that you've cheated on me with? This is so disturbing. So already you can see that she has been broken. As strong as she is, and let me tell you, I love her commitment to her faith, because sometimes when you're going through a dark time, like sometimes when you are just going through stuff like that, like the only thing that keeps you going is your faith. How is it that you are the one that caused the situation, but you're trying to push God in front of people so that they don't see how nasty your in being is? If you want to really show people Christ, instead of you to like strip yourself and allow yourself to be vulnerable to people, knowing that in the secret place you've dealt with everything with God, knowing that in the secret place, God, you are clothed in Christ and God has clothed you and God is shielding you, you're like, nope, you know what, I don't even have to answer to you guys, you know, this is for God's glory. You'll just keep trying to camouflage this situation with God. Like, it doesn't work like that. You can clearly see from Danae's social media that she is somebody who still needs so much healing, and she needs so much healing because the same thing that you did a few years ago, a decade ago, you just doing it last week. And on top of that, it's like, it's one thing for a man cheating on you, but then for a man, your husband, no, your boyfriend, your husband, to go and impregnate another woman. Can you imagine? Can you actually imagine? Can you forget the fact that he is this big time relationship expert? No, forget all of that. This is just standard, like just normal, a normal couple, right? Yes, he's been conning people, he definitely has been conning people. Forget all of that for 1 second. But what he's done, like, it's just so sad to me. What's even more sad is like everybody was just kind of like, oh, you know, it's her fault, like, look at her, look how she is, like, she's a broken woman. And I must have been watching something, or I read somewhere and someone was just like, where's her village? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where is actually her village? Where are the people that would shield her, cover her? There's no point on sending this woman messages about leave him and bombarding her with your opinion in her DMs and all of that, when somebody is so enslaved in their mind. Like, when somebody is literally gone, like, no matter how much you try and say to them, you're worth it, you're this, you're that, until they reach that point where they can see that for themselves, they're gonna remain in that. And it's just so sad to me that he's able to continuously cheat. He's humiliated her on so many levels. When he went to do that video that he done speaking in third person, which he's now removed the video, I believe, it's like, and obviously there's whole news breaking out, and she probably didn't even know that he allegedly had gotten someone else as pregnant, and now she knows. She's been a lot more quieter. Things are just not looking good at all, guys. When we look at the two other mistress, let's just have a look at them for 1 second. Mistress 1, mistress 2, and then the wife. Mistress 1, mistress 2, and the wife. If this is clearly mistress 1 and mistress 2, your type, like, this is clearly the type of woman that you like, why do you go for somebody who is not like you? I don't even know what more to say about this, but I am just extremely saddened by the idea that people are spending their energy, their time degrading his wife, talking about how she looks and if she did more, when this is a woman who has been broken in many pieces, who has been violated in many ways, who has been abused by people that she trusted, who has been conflicted, like, in so many different ways. He has put her through this, he has lied to her, he has abused her emotionally. Like, he has, that is emotional abuse, constantly keeping her, constantly holding on to her. You know, the times when she's probably wanted to left, he's lied to her, he's made her believe that he was this changed man. It's crazy, guys, it's crazy. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and I will speak to you guys in my next video. Don't forget to hit your notification bell so that you are notified whenever I post.